Okay, so I'm weighing my backpack and I'm right at 17 pounds. And I've seen a few people on there recently talking about 30 and 40 pound backpacks. So I thought I would put my 2 cents in, and I've got photos I'll put up that show you that was 17-ish, just under 17 pounds. No food, no water. This is just my dry weight plus trekking poles. But I'm going to pull everything out of my bag and show you every single thing that I've got. And this is just my system that I've got. I know I'm missing a few things, and we'll go over that in just a minute. But first, I've got my Black Diamond trekking poles. They were pricey. They're the carbon fiber cork handle. Like I said, Black Diamonds. They're wonderful. So the way I've got them set up is, and this was an interesting thing. I'm gonna go through. On these locks here, if you put this pole is tapered, and if you put the pole too far in, these locks won't lock down tight. And on my original set, I had the black pair. One of my poles had fallen out, and I was afraid that I would lose, the section of the pole. So these ones worked a little bit better. But what I did is I just put my extra. God, I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry. My extra duct tape down here, just as for some spare, and it keeps me from going all the way down to my tapered part, so I don't lose it. So there's just extra, and obviously, per however you want to use them. We're not going to get into how to use trekking poles. So then I'm going to go through, and in my brain, I carry my immediate things. There's my Sawyer. That's just what I prefer to use. Here's my rain jacket. It's a Frog Togs. I wear a visor if it's hot and sunny. If it gets cooler and I need sunshade, I put on a beanie and my visor. Okay, here's my toiletries bag, and I'll go through every single thing that I've got in here. So what this is, I'll even dig it out for you. I pick up a lot of trash while I'm on the trail, and if I can't find a plastic bag to carry, I've got this nylon bag. It doesn't weigh anything. It's works great. Not a lot I need to talk about that. Paper towels, just in case. I keep dry dude wipes. I wet them as I need them. Moleskin. Here is my partial roll of toilet paper. I carry, these are all titanium, and I carry just a long-handled titanium spoon. I didn't like the aluminum spoon. Well, for one, I was hiking and I dropped it in a fire pit and it burned up on me. But I like this smooth because it seems like the food doesn't really stick to it quite as much, and it cleans up really, really well. I only carry a spoon. I don't carry a fork because a very smart young man, far more experienced than me, he said, all the fork is a leaky spoon. So I only carry a spoon. But if I need to pick up chunks, I actually do carry titanium chopsticks. They work great for skewering and whatever you'd like to do. That's how I do that. Foot glide. I keep it taped up. I don't use it very often, but if I get a hot spot, that's there for that. Here is my, I'm not super smart, so there's my instructions for my headlamp. And then I carry a small roll of dental floss, a partial roll of travel toothpaste, and a toothbrush. I don't drill holes in it. I don't like doing that. I like a nice grip, and it doesn't bother me. And like I said, I'm just under 17 pounds. Okay. Here is a couple dollars in quarters, because the one trip I went to, there were supposed to be showers open, and they took quarters for the showers. Didn't end up using them. And then I carry a paper check. if I need to buy something. Here are my sheets of soap. They're biodegradable soap. I carry them. I liked using them. I did have a trip on the Berryman Trail where I did use them. It was I stopped. I stopped to take a little break, and a bunch of people rode up on 4-wheelers, and it was like these guys and girls, and there was she was a pretty cute single girl, and I was a couple days in the trail. I was like, oh boy, I was stinking. So I walked down the creek with my little wipes, washed up, went and did my flirting. Nothing happened. Nothing came of it, but it was pretty entertaining. But you need to stay clean in case you run into your soulmate on the trail. Here's earplugs. I like the sounds of the night, but I also snore really loud. So these actually aren't for me. They're for anybody that wants to complain about my snoring. My secondary fire starter, my emergency roll of duct tape, and I keep a little bit of chapstick with me. And that's everything that I keep in this small bag, and we will slide all this out of the way for right now. Alright, and then my Sawyer bag, I'm sure you know what that is, everybody does. This is my first aid pouch. I like having it in red. It's easy to identify. I'll go through everything that's in here too, and there's a reason behind it. There's tape. What's in here? Oh, these are blood clotting. It's for blood clotting, so you don't bleed out. Pad, a little bit of antibiotic, triple antibiotic ointment. Here's rubber gloves in case I would run across somebody else and I don't want to touch them. Iodine, and I think that's burn cream. It was open. I didn't really realize that. And then a little pair of scissors so I can cut up these little pads or whatever I need to do with them. So that's all that I carry for medical. And I don't really I'll carry like some ibuprofen, extra strength Tylenol, maybe some Tums, or just baking soda, because baking soda works perfect. My headlamp, I carry the Black Diamond Storm. I like the combination of brightness versus battery life. It takes 4 AAA batteries. You can look up the specs on it. I'm not going to tell them to you right now. And that is everything in there. I keep this little bit of paracord and a bracelet. It's got a little fire starter on it. It's just a comfort item. I don't really use it. And on the outside of my bag also, I keep my compass. It's not the best compass. It's not the worst compass. It's what is this, Sonodo? Yeah, it's a Sonodo. It's got some stuff inside of it. I don't know how. Anyway, so no, it's not the best. It's not the worst. But I'm also not the best navigator, and I'm the worst navigator, so it matches me. I was on a hiking group, and a guy out of California was making these net sacks, and they carry a 1-liter smart water bottle. They're great. I hated having my bladder inside of my backpack. I thought it sucked. And I carry 2 of them. Then in my hip pocket, I carry bug spray. My other hip pocket, and a lot of people will tell you it's overkill, and it probably is overkill. But I carry a Gerber multi-tool. I like it. It's got everything you need. To each their own. It doesn't really bother me. Like I said, the weight speaks for itself. Okay, that's everything in my hip pockets. We'll get into the guts of it. All right. First off is my cook system. This is a lid that I got from something. I don't know what it was from. It's got little holes that you can drain. I'm sure you can see it. But this perfectly fits everything. It's 3 cups, 24 ounces full. Like I said, I'm not very smart, so I write everything down on there because I don't know. I usually carry a fresh can with me. This is matches, and this is the just one of those cheap Amazon titanium stoves. They weigh, they're light. I don't remember what they weigh. It was grams, maybe an ounce, but they're just not, they just don't weigh anything. I don't know why you wouldn't. And every time I see somebody with a Jetboil, I'm like, dude, that's seemed like a lot of weight. I thought people were getting away from Jetboils, but to each their own. If you want to carry it, carry it. It's that. It's fitting there perfectly. Lid. There you go. That's that. I carry a Klymit. What is this one? Klymit Static V in Realtree camo, because I'm a hunter by nature and I like this. I'm not going to take it out, obviously, but sometimes I sleep on the ground, sometimes I sleep in a hammock, and this works for both. This is my bear bag I got while I was in Colorado doing the Pikes Peak Trail. I like throwing my food in it. I can tie it off. I know it's not going to go anywhere. So there you go. I carry a bear bag. You don't have to in Missouri. We've only got black bears and mountain lions, and it's, even though we do have a season for black bear now, it's such a rare, still, for where I'm at, it's still a pretty rare occurrence to see a black bear. I have yet to see one, and I've lived in Missouri my whole life. Here is my Yukon Outfitters. It's just a plain, regular width hammock, and I like it. I carry mule tape with me to tie to the trees. I don't do the tree protector pads because in Missouri it's not required, and there's just not enough people hiking in Missouri to do a lot of damage at the moment to the trees. So if that ever changes, I'll switch to tree pads or tree straps or whatever is required, but until then, it's in Missouri, it's not required. This is my bright orange ground sheet when I set up my hammock. It's orange for safety. If I need to signal somebody, that's what it's for. Otherwise, it just stays on the ground. I carry 4 titanium thin pins with me to keep it staked off to the ground. That's what's in there. Here is my beast. This is a Eno housefly. It's huge. It's huge. And I carry 6 full-sized, big, gigantic steel tent stakes. They're big and they're heavy, but my weight's not bad. The reason they're big and the reason they're heavy is we went on a trip one time, a guy's trip on Berryman, and I thought I'd be slick, and I carried one of the Enos. It was called an Eno Fastfly, and I carried it. I had my ultralight stakes, and I had it set up, and I had it set up right just to keep the dust off me. It was it ended up being a mistake. That night, it was absolutely a monsoon, and I absolutely could not stay dry. It was, I think we figured it was between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were so wet. Everything was wet. It was raining. It was pouring. It was cats and dogs outside. It was ridiculous. Me and my friend, because the situation was so, it was just, I'll just say it, it was shit. It was shit. We could not stop laughing. We were gluttons for punishment. We couldn't stop laughing. We're laughing, and the guys with us that don't really know us that well, they were like, "Who are these freaking crazy ass? Dude, it's a monsoon. We're miserable. Why are they laughing?" We laughed. So we packed out. As soon as I got back, I almost gave it away, sold it. I don't know what I did with it. I don't have it anymore. It sucks. I know 2 occasions stayed in this with torrential rains and thunderstorms, and as long as you tie up your drip rope correctly, you will stay dry, except for humidity. You'll stay dry. I've done it. I know you will. And also with this, house flight, what you can do is, so I was on Berryman in February one time, and the weather was mild the first night, and I just cowboy camped the first night. I was tired. I'd hiked all day into the night until I just couldn't hike anymore. And I slept on the ground. It was chilly, it was cold, but it wasn't bad. I had my 15-degree bag, or maybe it's a 25-degree bag. You'll see in a minute. It's on the bottom. But the second night, it had gotten windy and it got miserable. And I pitched this on the ground as a pup tent with my pad, with my ground tarp and everything. And so the way I see it, it's an advantage. I like being able, the versatility with it. I like it that I can pitch it in a tree and hang, or I can pitch it on the ground if it's miserable cold outside, or if there's just not any trees. That's just what I do. Housefly, I love it. I bought it at REI in Washington State. It's a beautiful country, part of the country. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful part of the country. It's great. I highly suggest going to the Seattle REI. It's great. It's wonderful. So is Denver. That's the two big REIs that I've been to. Okay, I'll pull this out. This is my trash compactor bag to keep my shit dry. This is just a large plastic bag if I need to use it for keeping something dry or to pack out my poo paper. That's what that's for. And that's all that's for. And then down to the very end. Here is my big old sleeping bag. I just stayed in it. We car camped last weekend, and I stayed in it, and it was great. I think it's Sierra Designs. It's wonderful. It works great. It's down. Everybody's got down. But it's great. That's everything I've got. Just under 17 pounds, dry weight. Your mileage may vary. But if you're just getting started, here was my 2 cents. This is everything I've needed. I've went on lots of backpacking trips. You just don't need anything, really anything more than that. But if you want your comfort item, in fact, I'm missing my bug net and my pillow. That's what I'm missing. I gotta go, but my pillow was pretty old, and now I've been seeing that they've updated them to like their air plus a little bit of foam or a little bit of down. I might go check one of those out, and I gotta go get another bug net. So my system for my sleep system, for when it's summertime and it's really bad out, the bugs are really bad, instead of putting bug spray all over my face, because obviously you can smell it and it's terrible, what I'll do is I'll in my hammock I'll wear my visor and I'll put my bug net over my face. I'll put it over my head and I'll sleep like that, and it works for me. But until next time, I appreciate you guys taking the time watching this. I know it's been long-ish. It looks like it's almost 20 minutes. Let me know. I would be more than happy to go and video setting all this up and going through everything one more time if anybody's going to watch it. That's, I've got 5 subscribers. I've got a very small channel, but I do appreciate it. This has been fun. There's more content to come. I've got a few ideas that I hope we can do eventually, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. If you watched till the end, it's been a great day.